been here 30 years, managing partner since May 2010. And it's changed beyond all recognition. We've effectively gone from a high street practice, as lots of firms were at that time, into a firm with a national profile with 5 offices all over the country. We have about 10, 11 trainees at any one time, and we try to train them properly. The training is much more forensic now. They get to move around every department, or 4 departments, 4 6-month slots, and we try and match their ambitions and their expectations with our need for the business. And it's really good that we have a 100% retention rate recently, because we spend a lot of time training them, we get to know them really well, and they're good recruitment as an NQ level for the firm.
So one of the really great things about Stone King is the diversity of seats or departments that you can train in. So since I started in September 2016, I've been with the charities team, the employment team, the family care team, currently with the commercial property team, and heading off to the education team in June. And that's just such a great range of experiences. And I think as a trainee, you're exposed to all sorts of different types of work, different departments, different colleagues, and you come away at the end, hopefully, with a really clear idea of what you want to do and what you want to specialise in.
I really liked the way it's a national firm, so there are offices in different parts of the country, and trainees can do seats in different offices as they fancy. And the other main thing that attracted me to Stone King was the areas of law that they do and that you can do a seat in. So you can do seats in both corporate areas of law and private client areas of law, which is really good and quite unusual. But in addition to this, you can also do seats in education law and charity law, which is very niche, and Stone King's market leaders in these areas. So it's really good being involved in such a variety of departments.
If you're a trainee joining here, you're thinking about joining us as a trainee, then obviously we've got that 230-year-old history of, of how to do things. We haven't always done things right, but we've learned along the way. And we meet the trainees on a quarterly basis. There are socials that we have, to get to know them. I'm the training principal, so we meet regularly. And from the business perspective, the balance is that we need to develop people that are going to work effectively in the business. So it's in our interest to get them across the line, if you like, because we've invested in them, and we choose carefully at the interview process. We have a 2-stage interview process. We have a mock trial that we run where they all play different parts in a courtroom scenario to kind of prepare them for later life, as it were. And I think them as a group, learning off each other, we mentor them, they buddy up with people, they meet with HR, there's a lot going on. And at the beginning of every seat, at the end of every seat, there's a moment with the head of team, so there's a kind of exit interview from the last 6 months, what went well, and what do they need to look at, and that information gets passed around with them, which is, it's a good thing. And also, from a firm perspective, we budget their costs centrally, but they take the billings that they do, such as they are, in their 2 years, around with them. So there's clear transparency on that. And the teams like that because they don't have the expense, but they get the benefit of the resource.
I've got 3 small children, aged 10 and under, a girl and 2 boys. So a really key thing for me was trying to find somewhere that would allow me to train part-time. Stone King have been brilliant about that. I'm actually the second trainee here to do a 4-day week, which just allows me to try and balance the demands of home with the demands of work, and it's gone really well.
When you start as a trainee at Stone King, you're assigned a buddy. And so from the first day, you go for lunch with your buddy, and you can go to them if you've got any queries. But you can also talk to other trainees. So perhaps once you start as a first-year trainee, you can talk to the second-year trainees about their experiences. And there are trainee drinks and socials, so you get to know other trainees who started at a different time. You also have your training principal, who's the managing partner, who you can talk to if you want any advice, and there's always HR to go to as well. There's lots of support, and in each team, when you move seats, you're assigned a supervisor, and they're the person who helps you through that seat.
Traditionally, training contracts tended to be offered 5 days a week or nothing, and when I was thinking about going back and doing my training, certainly people were concerned about that. I was told it would be very tricky to find a part-time training contract, so I was delighted to see that Stone King were really open to that idea.
If I'm honest, I think the opportunity never occurred to me to move anywhere else. I've been through, obviously, trainee to NQ to associate. We didn't have senior associate at the time, but up to junior partner, then into equity partner, and I've been all the way through. Lots of the time as a fee earner, I had a team I headed before, and then onto management and getting involved in the firm's management, now being managing partner. So my roles have been different all the time. It's evolved, it's been great. And the business has been flexible enough to allow me to do that, and every day you have to justify what you're doing and make a contribution and enjoy yourself. And I think, again, we come back to that statistic. If we can have a profitable business where people are enjoying themselves, then that's nirvana.